Welcome to Co-Creating Now with Monica Goyle. Monica is a spiritual counselor and healer with a life purpose to put people in touch with their innate healing abilities, empowering them to live a life full of joy, love, peace, and abundance. Through this show, you'll learn to heal every aspect of your life by connecting to your higher self. And now your host, Monica Goyle, on the OMTimes Radio Network.
To have you every Tuesday morning. Namaste. Hope you are having a great time, a great life. Today we have a very, very special guest. Actually, she is the co-founder of OMTimes and Humanity Healing Network. And I am so grateful to have her. Welcome, Liane.
Oh, hi. Well, thank you for having me.
Just a brief introduction about her. I don't know how she does it, but she is an anthropologist, a degreed economist with her postgraduate work experience in city services planning. And she was born in Brazil, Salvador, in a Catholic family. And we have to learn from her how she got into what she is today from her very diverse background and all that she has been doing to serve the humanity, as very rightly humanity healing does, serving us all.
Ooh, when you say like this, looks like more than actually it is.
But so always so humble.
No, I just don't see it the way you guys see it. I just feel that there's so many things that need to be done, and it's not enough. And I do know, because you are also a teacher of meditation, that is probably the mind of doing. So it is my mind of doing. I need to do something. Something needs, to be done. If nobody do it, nobody want to do it, why don't we? So it's just
You
that
are
thing.
constantly serving, constantly helping all of us healers and to share our love.
Well, here's how I see. I think that I don't see this as a personal thing. Mm-hmm. I think that Christopher and I, we made this commitment a long time ago, and the way I truly believe is we are hands. We are hands that weave. We are part of this incredible network of invisible hands that together are weaving for the betterment of humanity. So it's not really my hands. When I do something, I feel that there are other hands that help me weave.
So beautifully said.
It is the expansion of consciousness, even though we don't see it. It is working. It is happening. It's this ocean that goes, and we are part of this network. Mm-hmm. We are part of this set of invisible hands and minds and intelligences that are engineering the prosperity. So what we usually say is we are in the business of prosperity. Mm-hmm. And we do believe that one high tide float all boats. Mm-hmm. So it is not us. We are part of this big universal movement. Many people. So I feel kind of strange when you say you do so much. It's like, no, I do a little bit, but fortunately there are the hands, there are the minds, that help me do this.
But you
So,
weave us together. That's the truth.
yes, exactly. So it's not a person or two people. It's the movement, the this flow. So I don't see it when people say you do this and do this. Like, actually, I just initiated, but the other hands made it happen.
Yeah, but
You understand?
that's a big part of it, Liani. I mean, taking that first step and bringing us all together.
Yes. So that's really the way I see it when you say you do so much. No, I don't.
You
It is,
keep us together.
yeah, I glue everybody together. Yes. But this is the way I think.
Yeah. But
So,
I mean, our voice is only able to reach millions today because of that initiative that you took. And we are very grateful.
well,
Thank-
yeah, that's another thing. I I don't see, because it really is weird. Because when you do this from a window, I mean, I'm not talking about the computer in itself, the brand, but when you do this in a window, what I feel, especially with OMTimes, is that we are sending messages inside of bottles. And
Mhm.
you have no idea who this message will reach,
Mhm.
who this message will help. But we send a message in faith that this will reach the person that needs to listen,
Yeah.
the person that needs to hear it. Because, if we do believe in the law of synchronicity.
Mhm.
So the person that would need this message will hear it.
Mhm.
And that's the reason we, Christopher and I, we try to keep our energy fields aligned
Mhm.
with the frequencies, the flow of the universe. And that's the reason OMTimes is OMTimes,
Yeah.
is the time of the universe. It was carefully chosen.
How did Tell me, Liani, were you like this from very childhood? I know you wanted to be a nun.
Yes, that too. What happened was I had a very strange childhood. I had I was fortunate enough to have two powerful grandmothers in
Mhm.
my life. One was an honorary Italian grandmother, and
Mhm.
the other one was a very um, industrial, industrious Portuguese grandmother. My
Mhm.
Portuguese grandmother, she married when she was 12. And that time,
Wow.
she was given in marriage when she was 12. So she had to wait till she was 14
Mhm.
to have her first period so she could have a child.
Oh my God.
Oh, all right.
Mhm.
So what happened? Sorry, something interrupted. So what happened was she made a promise
Mhm.
that she would have her kids and she would adopt it, would be adopting other kids. She had 6 kids and she decided there was not enough. So she
Wow.
adopted 28 more.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So that's where the environment I grew up.
Mhm.
So my mom and dad work all day. So my grandmother
Wow.
personally took care of me with all those kids.
Mhm.
So we had a very, I had a childhood that was not a rich childhood, but money wise, but it was full of imagination,
Mhm.
of playing outside, of playing with dirt, of planting,
Wow.
of drawing. And this was a huge universe for me, you
Yeah.
know,
So you
because
were allowed to be a child.
Yes, I
Yeah.
was allowed to be a child. And she was very Catholic as well.
Yeah.
And one of these, my grandmother had those very strange ways to discipline, her kids. So sometimes, I went to school where she was close to her house. And one time I remember, in the breakfast, she came and I was being nasty somewhat. And then she said, this was 6 in the morning. And she
Hmm.
said, that's it, young lady, your day is over. My day is over was 6 in the morning. I
Yeah.
would have I would have to go back to bed. No play, no television because we didn't have it, television
Yeah.
in our house. We had radio. No play, no TV, no reading, no nothing. You are in bed. My day was over. It's like, no, you cannot do this to an 8 years old kid. So, you know, she had those weird ways to do it. And at one time, I saw more people inside of her house
Hmm.
than really were. So I could see people that had passed,
Oh.
and I thought they were people
Yeah.
because they were
Yeah.
always there. They're always smiling. They talk with each other, and because I thought that everybody could do that,
Hmm.
I never raised a question.
And
So
how old were you, Liane?
I was very young. I would say 7.
Yeah.
It was that, yeah. I was younger than that, but 7 to 8,
Mm-hmm.
yes. And so this was part of it. Till one day I was, grounded.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was there when I was in the bed, the bunk beds everywhere. And there was this friar.
Hmm.
She closed the door, and this friar was behind the door. And I was looking at him, and, I was like, I screamed at her, Grandma. And I said, what? I said, take him out of here. And she said, take who?
Conscious lifestyle on
You know,
steroids. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Welcome to The Gathering Around My Kitchen Table on Equilarium FM, Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join my guests as we integrate spirituality into everyday reality with vibrant conversations, inspired interviews, and my latest channeled guidance to inspire and brighten your day. I'm Claire Johnson, and together we'll be raising vibrations across the nations.
The number one reason girls drop out of school in sub-Saharan Africa is lack of access to feminine hygiene products. The Pads for Schoolgirls Project, an outreach of Humanity Healing International, is changing this paradigm by setting up sewing programs at schools, teaching girls a vocational skill, while producing the reusable pads that help keep them attending classes. The girls pay it forward by making and giving pad kits to other girls in need. To learn more, visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is. Being a radio host on IOM FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network.
Hey ladies, do you want to have that good hair day feeling all the time? Gentlemen, would you want your special someone to have that glow, letting you know she's feeling completely satisfied? This feeling and that glow can be yours by embracing your sexual power. So join me, Rachel Kenley, award-winning romance author, on the O-Spot. The O-Spot will guide you to that peak with guest interviews, book discussions, and conversations on the thrills of sexual empowerment. Put the zing back in your life. Come up and see me sometime on the O-Spot, live on Hump Day at 10 p.m. Eastern.
Your conscious connection to a more mindful world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
And we were listening to Liane's story.
so I talk too much, I guess.
No.
So just to finish that story, so we had this. My grandma put me there, and she closed the door, and I saw this friar, and I called her, and I said, "You know what? I'm here by myself. Take him out." And then she said, "Take who out?" And I said, "The man that's there." And she said, "Oh my God, you seeing a man?" I said, "Yes, he's here all the time." And she said, "Why didn't you tell me?" I said, "Well, I thought that he was, I don't know, part of he's always with you."
Yeah.
And she was like, "Ah!" So it
But
was a
she
quite a
knew
weird.
about it too.
She didn't, because you see, she was a Catholic,
Uh-huh.
and she had the images. So she had St. Francis, she had Our Lady of Fatima,
Yeah.
she had a Fatima, but my grandfather had Our Lady of the Perpetual Help. So we have the saints in the house, and of course that big picture of Jesus Christ um, on a dining room.
Yeah.
So the table was huge, and I remember running from the living room to the patio. You had to pass to the dining room. So you come running, but you pass the table in the dining room, because one of those pictures of Jesus Christ that follows you with the eyes.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So you have to be respectful when
Yeah.
you pass through Jesus. So, I remember doing that. But yeah, but she didn't um she didn't think that anybody will see, or should be seeing dead people. Because when you die, you are in purgatory, or you went to heaven, or you went to hell. So nobody was down here except the living. So it was like very interesting.
So, how did your Catholic upbringing help you on your spiritual journey?
Well, it did help me a lot.
Mm.
And I will tell you why it helped me. It helped me because it gave me the backbone. It gave me the discipline to do prayers, to have a ritual, my prayers, my meditations. It helped me because for instance, when I read the Bible, I didn't read the Bible because I read the Bible. I read the Bible, and I went section by section. And what I did was, when I finished reading the Bible, it gave me this incredible wish and hunger to study others. So when I did that, I study the Bible, I study the Mahabharata, I study the Upanishads, I studied the Quran. Was kind of hard. I just study like read, but I just read. But I wanted to understand, and this is one of the things that I think is more fascinating. It's like, what is the common base of religion? What's something that initially was from mankind and then fragmented into sections. Because the search for the divine is
Right.
part of our nature. The search of reintegration, the search of eliminating this feeling of separation. It's part of our journey.
Yeah.
So all of religions have this.
Right.
So this is what I was looking for. So anyhow,
That's great. So, when you figured out that no one else sees people like you do, how did it affect you?
I don't understand why you
So, you said you could see spirits.
yes.
And
Well,
so, but you didn't know earlier that those were
no,
spirits.
no, I didn't. What happened was, when I saw the spirits, I saw with my grandmother, the Portuguese one, and I mentioned that to my grandmother, which was the Italian one. And my grandmother, which was Italian, and she was like, "Oh my God." in the Catholic Church, you call this, when you see spirits, that you're doing a ministry of the souls. So my Italian grandmother said, no, I don't want you to be doing the ministry of the souls, the suffering souls, because everybody that does the ministry of the souls suffer too much. So let's go and talk with the priest. So
Yeah.
the priest gave me a little blessing that was supposed to close my eyes.
Mm.
And it did. It did
Okay.
go away for a while. But then it came back with the revenge.
Mm.
Woof. Everything again when I was around 16, 17 as a teenager. It
Wow.
came back with the revenge. So it never stops. But
But then
here's,
you accepted it, and
oh yes, I do.
yeah.
I did accept it. And one of the things I did was to, inside of the Catholic Church, I took vows of taking care of the souls on the other side,
Wow.
which it's like it calls it really does call the ministry of the souls. So one of the things I do is I believe that people after death need also healing.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a really a Christian, widespread Christian belief, but I do believe that because I have seen that in my experience. I have seen that. So what I do is on Fridays, I have days in a week that I separate to pray. On Fridays, Chris and I, we pray for suffering souls. And we choose one category every Friday. For instance, people that are, let's say, suffering and pass from cancer
Mm-hmm.
or along with illnesses.
Yeah.
When they pass, they still have in their spiritual body all the emotions, all the things that still plague them. They may not have the physical pain, but they have the emotional pain. And in order for them to continue their journey, we need to give some healing.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of the universe. You give, you receive.
Yeah.
So we do that. Healing of those that had passed, we do on every Friday from 2:30 to 3:30 p.m.
Oh.
That's what we do. So this is our routine.
So, Liane, can people request you,
Yes,
okay, for their loved ones, to pray for their loved ones who have
yes,
passed on?
yes, they do.
Okay.
They sure do.
Wow.
So we have a list. When it happens that we don't have a list, we pray anonymously
Mm-hmm.
to whoever needs to receive it.
Okay. So, is there a certain process that you follow, or you call upon the beings of light? Would you like to share with us, please?
Absolutely. What we do is we usually enter in a state of meditation where we enter our heart temples.
Mm-hmm.
And through when we enter, and this is something that we have also a university that we call Humanity Healing University.
Mm-hmm.
Not the group in Facebook,
Yeah.
but actually a website
Yes.
where we teach how to build your heart temple. So you go to the heart temple, and from there, you are sending only compassionate, only hopeful, only energy of goodness. When you are inside of your heart temple, you're completely protected against any influence. So we enter in meditation state. We chant. There are some prayers. There are some prayers that we use with certain names of certain angels that are responsible for, let's say, areas of rehabilitation. Rehabilitation
Yeah.
centers. Yeah, the afterlife rehabilitation centers. So
How
we connect with
beautiful.
them. So that's what we do.
So how was humanity healing born, Liane?
Ooh, that's a good question. Humanity Healing was born because I had a page on. Well, let me start from the beginning. I would be very fast on that one. I had an accident in the year 2000.
Hmm.
I got smashed by a truck.
Oh my
You
God.
know, and I had several damages to my body, and I'm physically disabled. And what happened was I was in bed, all broken up, and I always had this spiritual life. And I told God, why are you doing this? You know, if you needed to give me a message, you could have sent an email, sent somebody or a dream. I would listen. And then I thought maybe something else, maybe it was not, maybe I need to figure out.
Yeah.
And I spent it 18 months in a wheelchair. I couldn't walk.
Wow.
So I told God, look, I had 4 kids at that time, 2 stepsons, and my 2 daughters that were just kids. My stepsons were teenager, but my daughters were, the older one was 8 years old.
Wow.
And I said, look, if I can walk again, I would do the 14 acts of mercy, which is a prescription on the Sermon of the Mount in the Bible, which is, feed the hunger, shelter the homeless,
Wow.
comfort and this. And I would do it, not one time. I would do it as a way of living. And after my kids are adults, I will serve my human family. So that's what I did. So
Wow.
by 2007, oh, there you go.
And we will be back after a short break.
Free your mind. Expand your soul. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
If you remember living fearlessly, joyfully, and in a world filled with adventure, happiness, pleasure, and unbridled living, then this show is for you. Join me, Dame Nicole Brandon, as I bring you the world's top experts in wealth, creativity, flow, sea-edging technology, space, wellness, health, love, lust, and passion, all merging together each week here at the Hub of Happiness. Mondays at 6 p.m. Pacific Time and 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Passionate Living, where you can ride on the magic carpet ride of living and learn how to lead a passionately wild, exciting, and outrageously amazing life.
Have you ever wondered how to change your love paradigm? The secret key is finding a love partnership, not just a regular connection. How do you find these? Through conscious relationships. Ascending Hearts Dating is a dating site for people like you that believes in second chances and a different type of spiritual connection. Try Ascending Hearts for free today at ascendinghearts.com and change your love paradigm. Ascending Hearts, the premier dating community for the spiritually awake. Host your show on IOM FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
Hi, my name is Monica and I'm the host of Co-Creating Now. Give yourself an opportunity to connect with your all-knowing higher self and manifest joy, love, and peace together every Tuesday, 11 a.m. Eastern.
Free your mind with OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Welcome
Yes.
back, Liane. So you took a pledge that if you are healed, all you will do with your life is serve.
Yes. if I could have the chance to walk again and finish raising my children, that was the only thing I wanted. I wanted to finish raising my girls.
Mm.
And if I had that, I would be glad to serve.
That
And
must have been a really tough time.
oh my, yeah. Oh, you cannot imagine how it was tough.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I just had come to the United States.
Oh,
So
wow.
it
Okay.
was like I was here 1 year when I got hit and no family here.
Mm.
My ex-husband and I, we were hit at the same time. So he was also all broken up.
Oh my God.
And, but he was in a hospital because he was in critical stage.
Mm.
I was at home broken up with the 4 kids,
Mm.
no help. And, at that time, the state wanted to take the kids out. It's like,
Oh,
no, just because I'm, broken up doesn't mean anything.
wow. So you
But it was,
went through very trying times.
and that was the thing. Why I think is, and this, it summarizes everything
Mm-hmm.
of the experience and why I went through this.
Mm-hmm.
This is my perception, of course, that why I went through this series of events was because not because God wanted to prove me anything,
Right.
but because I needed to experience this
Mm-hmm.
so I would know in my flesh what it is to be weak
Oh,
and susceptible.
yeah.
And during this period, in my entire life in Brazil, I was always the one that gave charity.
Mm-hmm.
In that moment, I experienced what is generosity as a double, a two-way street. I was the object of generosity of
Mm-hmm.
others. So for me, that was one of the biggest lessons
Yeah.
in my life was a lesson of humility, was a lesson of humbleness, because I was always the one that did it,
Right.
but I never received it. So what I think my soul was telling me was, you need to experience generosity
Mm.
by the two ways. You cannot be one way. Otherwise, you don't know what is generosity.
Yeah.
Generosity of spirit, it's not only giving, but knowing how to receive.
Receive. Oh,
So,
beautiful.
so this was my big lesson. And
Yeah.
apparently my soul thought that you should give me a big bang so I wouldn't understand, which I'm extremely grateful
Mm-hmm.
because many times we had nothing to eat. And I
Wow.
remember one time I had nothing, no help from social service, and my ex-husband worked,
Mm.
and they no help whatsoever. And we had nothing, and the kids that time I was going downstairs. My legs couldn't be used, so I was going downstairs. We had this little condo
Mm.
with my hands to cook, and my legs were bad, and I didn't have gas, so everything was broken. But the doctors thought that putting the gas would be worse, so it was just so sorry, loose would be worse. So I was sitting on the stairs crying,
Mm-hmm.
and I heard the doorbell ring,
Mm-hmm.
and I went there. When I opened the door, on crutches, there was all this food.
Mm.
Somebody made entire supermarket and just put it in my door
Oh my
with
God.
a card saying, "From my family to yours, completely anonymous." I never forgot that
Wow.
because I was never able to repay. I was never able to say to that person how grateful I was.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since, I just fed my spirit that somebody that didn't know me
Yeah.
at all was generous enough to share with our family And that was a huge lesson for me.
Wow. Yeah.
Yes,
Wow. So you were touched. Like you said, we all have this. I think we just, I don't know, we just believe in giving and we
yes,
never think of receiving, or it's just hard for us to be
yes.
in that place. But this experience humbled you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's one of the things I do every day. I have another thing that I do every day.
Mm.
First time I open my eyes in the morning, it's like, good morning, morning. Good morning, sun, in my mind. And thank you for another day.
Mm.
Thank you for breathing. Thank you for walking. Thank you for this. I do the gratitude game.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I count my blessings, even if they're bad. It's like, thank you for opportunity to be angry today. Like, it is an opportunity.
Yes.
And when you choose to see yourself
Mhm.
in this wondrous universe,
Yeah.
and it's everything. You can choose to see an adverse universe, or you can choose to see a universe full of potentiality.
Mhm.
And I choose to see potentiality instead of restriction and bad. You know what I mean? The universe is not against us. He's in
Yes.
our favor. So I just like, thank you. Yay.
And you are able to do that even after going through such a painful time. And you recognize that it was because you needed to learn how to receive. You needed to
Exactly.
learn.
Yes.
You needed to
Absolutely.
feel what
Yes.
pain is like. So
Yes.
you could serve everyone with the same compassion and
Absolutely. Because see,
love.
we had, if this had happened in Brazil, I would not learn at all.
Hmm.
Because I had, like I said to you, 32 uncles and aunts.
Yeah.
And all of them have big families.
Hmm.
And my family is kind of Italian.
Hmm.
So everybody's business. One gets sick, you get invaded by people. They come and they cook, they do this and this. So
Yeah.
it would be family.
Yeah.
It would not be a lesson.
Yeah.
I had to experience in a country that I had no idea,
Hmm.
that I never know, I knew nobody.
Yeah. Where
I
you
knew,
would
yeah,
connect with God, like real
direct,
connection.
yes.
That's so beautiful.
It was dramatic, but I'm telling you, uh, I don't know if I would do it again, but I
No,
would
you
tell
would
you,
never want that to happen to you ever, ever, ever again.
but it was very powerful.
Yeah, yeah, I'm
Yes,
sure.
and
So,
absolutely necessary.
yeah, yeah, wow, yeah. So when you were fine, when you were back to your toes,
Yes,
then you started humanity healing.
yes, yes. It's a long story, but I know we don't have time. And I connected with Chris.
Mhm.
So what I did was I had a page on MySpace where was the one of the last one, which of the 14 acts of mercy, which is to give inspiration.
Mm.
So I had an anonymous page called Random Acts of Kindness
Oh,
on
wow.
MySpace. And in that time, it was very specific rules. I had one bulletin a day with one quote and a picture and yada yada. The page grew to 25,000 people on that time. And,
Wow.
and I didn't apply to anybody's page
Wow.
but people, I said, well, this is a need. People need to be inspired.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my ministry, of course, on that part. And meanwhile, I was doing prison ministry myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I connected with Chris, and he's a healer.
Mm-hmm.
On that time, I did like, I am just, I wasn't a Reiki master or anything,
Mm-hmm.
but I am just the one that comes to comfort. I'm a comforter. I
Mm-hmm.
always thought that.
Yeah,
So we
that's
connected,
beautiful.
and then we connected, and he started doing the healing, and I did spiritual counseling.
So how did you meet him?
Oh, Social media. Social media. We met over MySpace from all places.
Yeah. Beautiful.
So we said, let's make a group, and I was overwhelmed because every day I had huge list of, sorry, um, of people asking for prayers.
Mm-hmm.
So one day I put it there, people, I need help. I received so many prayer requests. Is there anybody out there that
Yeah.
wants to work with me and help me do those prayers? And then I did a Yahoo group,
Yeah.
and for the first time, 13 people volunteer.
Oh,
So
wow.
I said, wow, I'm taking over the world. I have 13 people that want to pray with me. Yay. So I was happy. When we
Yeah.
started, I cleaned up and I put humanity healing. Chris came in, and then the first night, he asked me, he was in Virginia, I need somebody to help do Reiki for
Yeah.
the people in Cancer Center.
Mm.
And so I put an ad, we need a Reiki practitioners that want to do pro bono in
Yeah.
Cancer Center in Virginia. And the same night we got almost 800 people from everywhere in the world except Virginia. So we said, there's something here. People from New Zealand, Australia,
Oh,
England.
wow.
And then I said, well, that's something that is humbling. So we started humanity healing and start doing those healing grids, prayer
Mm-hmm.
requests, healing requests, and then, just snowball from there. Now we are a 501c3 Humanity Healing International, which have
Wow.
projects in Nepal, Uganda, and Pakistan. And we are Humanity Healing Network, which is a 502, which is the university and the community.
That's so beautiful. So it was your noble intention. Just, the word spread,
Hmm.
and now it's a huge network, and you are doing so much. Wow. We'll be back after taking a short break.
Connecting you with the best of the conscious minds in the world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Hello, I'm Miriam Knight of New Consciousness Review, inviting you to my new show where I interview the rising stars of the conscious awakening. We'll explore the many faces of consciousness in action and intriguing perspectives on life, the universe, and everything in between. Join us each Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern on the Rising Stars Show.
Simone Milasas would like you to know that business can be fun, which is why she wrote the book, Joy of Business. What if you could have the joy of business rather than the stress and struggle? Most of the time, the only thing stopping you from a thriving business is you. In the Joy of Business book, Simone gives you access consciousness tools and pragmatic ways to get out of your own way and to create the business, life, and living you know is possible and beyond what this reality says is achievable. Business is joy. It's creation. It's generative. It can be the adventure of living. You can purchase your copy of the book through Amazon or Joy of Business website, www.accessjoyofbusiness.com. Being a radio host on IOM FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network.
Hi, my name is Monica, and I'm the host of Co-Creating Now. Give yourself an opportunity to connect with your all-knowing higher self and manifest joy, love, and peace together every Tuesday, 11 a.m. Eastern.
Bringing a more conscious lifestyle to your world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Liane.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I talk too much.
Oh, no. Thank you so much for sharing your experience and your wisdom.
Oh,
Thank you so much. Very grateful. And I'm sure this is helping me a lot. And I'm sure it is helping our audience as well. So we
I,
are grateful.
oh, I hope so. I really hope so. It's a strange story, but it is all true. That's the funny thing. Sometimes life is more interesting than reality, than fantasy. I mean, reality can be more crazy.
Yeah. And I think it leads us to who we are today.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. But again, we are part of this. We are anonymous. We're
Mhm.
just hands on this immense weaving.
Mhm.
I mean, it's like a point of light. Just keep, and this is one of the most, I think, difficult roles
Mhm.
that a spiritual person can actually embrace, which is anchoring the light, not like with no type of firework or anything,
Mhm.
just anchoring the light, just
Yeah.
like a lighthouse. A,
Yeah.
a lighthouse, it's not put in safe places. A lighthouse is put in places where there is darkness, where there is storms, where there are possible disasters. So quietly anchoring the light, you know, despite of all the adversities, it's one of the most difficult things. Um,
That's such a beautifully put message, Liane. That's so true.
it is. It is true, and in our own way, what we do is no lighthouse say, "Look at me, I'm here." They're
Mhm.
just there, and this is how Chris and I we feel. We're
Mhm.
just there. It's not firework. It's not a show. There's nothing about we doing this or this. We
Mhm.
are look, we are doing this. No, we just do it because it needs to be done, and we are grateful to be the oil in the wheel. You know what I mean? On the axle.
Mhm.
We don't need to be, we don't feel that. We need to be the ones that say they're doing it. We do it. We just do something if there is nobody else doing. When
So,
we,
how
yeah,
do you, being in a human body, Liane, we all know, ego comes, ego
yes,
shows its ugly head. How do you keep it out of the way?
that's funny because you see, my ascendant is Leo. And I'm a Piscean, but my ascendant is Leo,
Yeah.
which is like ego is here to stay.
Yeah.
But I do have this very interesting relationship with my ego. Sometimes I get so upset with things, and I allow, and I say, look, you have 24 hours to be upset. And I usually say, I am upset. I'm going to go for 24 hours. So I have my tantrums. I have my fit. After 24 hours, I said, are you done? No, let's move on. You
Oh,
know,
wow.
so I do that with myself because I don't repress it.
Mhm.
I think that it's part of the human nature.
Yeah.
You have to educate yourself. Human nature has to be educated. That's
Mhm.
the reason I we push for articles that will educate people about themselves.
Mhm.
We push for forming healers that will know how to respond to questions and to situations in life on
Mhm.
humanity healing. But this is a movement that you have to have with yourself. All feelings, and there's a phrase, I don't remember who said it, but I think it's perfect. Nothing that's human is unknown to me.
Mhm.
So I,
Mhm.
I have all the inside of me, I have all the dark side
Mhm.
of humanity, but I also have the luminous side.
Yeah.
So the weaving of the darkness and the light, it's what, really build a stairway if you will, or your rainbow bridge inside to go back. You know, it builds your antakarana to go back to God. So this is what you do. So I allow myself when I see somebody doing something nasty to an animal. I know my first thing is say, I can't do this. No, I can't. Of course I can. I'm human. You know, I have the same things, but somewhere along my line of, existences, I learned that this is not the way to go. And I'm thankful that I had this lesson before. So right now I don't need to be
But that's
challenged
the
with that.
level of awareness, that's the level of consciousness that you have, that you are always aware of how you are feeling, what you are doing, and you
Yes.
accept it, you respect it.
I do respect that. And like I said, it looks crazy. It looks silly. I have friends that said, that's the most stupid thing. But that's how it works for me. I allow myself to be upset and I allow myself to be grumpy
Yeah, I
24
think we
hours.
have to honor ourselves. We have to honor each and every feeling that shows up
Yes.
without judging. And then only, it's like what is within us will
Yes.
come out.
Exactly. Because what you resist persists.
Right.
It's like, and I have arguments with myself, I mean, it's like, what are you doing? Sometimes it's like, what are you thinking? Why are you doing this? Or why you think you can do this? I ask myself and I respond to myself, I mean, it's like rationally, like this and this and this. I'm thinking this and this. So I always ask, what is the feeling? What is the feeling that's provoking this? And sometimes what pops in my head is like something completely and absolutely diverse what is happening now. So I know those are fragments, parts of fragments of myself. And I usually work this in meditation.
So you go deep within to find your own answers.
Oh, absolutely. I am too much of a control freak to accept from outside. It's true. I'm a control freak.
You are so.
I am. I don't drink. I can say that to you. I never use drugs. I don't drink alcohol. And I don't use pills, even when I'm allergic to pain pills. So when I did pain management, I did pain management with other resources because I'm too much of a control freak. My mind has to be clear at all times.
Yeah.
So.
No, I think because you recognize you are a soul and you recognize you have all the answers you are seeking. And if you keep yourself clear and pure as a channel, then you'll have what you are looking for.
Yeah, and I just want to correct one thing here.
Yeah.
I think that I said I'd clarify better. I have the answers inside, but sometimes when somebody says something, it's like it clicks inside. That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I disregard what other people say. It's not, I don't like that you need to do this. When people say to me, you need to do this because this is the way. No, it is not. There's billions of people in this planet. Therefore, there are billions of different ways to do this thing.
So true.
So maybe my way is not your way, but that's what makes us so exciting. We are diverse, and I believe God likes diversity.
I believe so too. But Liane, I have to share. I have learned so much from you, and especially anytime I've asked you for your thoughts, you always help me, guide me to make my own decisions, but you never ever, I've never, anytime I've asked you, Liane, I should do this or this, but you'll always leave it up to me, just giving a gentle guidance.
Oh, well, I do that with everybody because, Chris is, Sometimes people come and tell me things and say this and this and this, and I usually listen. But you see, I think it came from my experience. I was a tarot reader, a professional tarot reader in
Mm-hmm.
Brazil for 17 years. So I learned how to listen and give guidance without interfering, because I don't want to create the karma of responsibility. So sometimes somebody tells me something and I comment with him and said, "Did you ask why?" I said, "No." "Why?" "Because it's none of my business." I was like, "It's none of my business." "Did you say something?" "Yes." "What you said then?" "Why didn't you say this?" "Because it's none of my business." Why you decide how you unfold.
Mm-hmm.
My role, our role, is to help you unfold,
Mm.
not to unfold you.
That's
You
such a
can
beautiful message.
you cannot make the fruit ripe or
Mm-hmm.
take the fruit out of the tree before it's ripe. So,
Wow.
I mean, it's patience, is
Yeah.
understanding the cycles of life.
Yeah.
Some people take longer, some people go faster, but allow them to be themselves
Mm.
at their own time. It's one of the lessons I think, I'm still practicing.
Thank you so much, Liane. That's
Oh, you're
such a
welcome. Thank you for
beautiful
having me.
lesson. Thank you so much. Before we say goodbye, I would really, really request you all to visit humanityhealing.net and OMTimes for the beautiful work that Liane and Chris have been doing. Thank
Thank,
you so much.
thank you for
Namaste.
having me. Namaste.
Feed your soul.